Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Sinead Kennedy. I'm a physical therapist, yoga and Pilates instructor based in South County, Dublin. So when I asked you for suggestions for a video that you needed, I had an overwhelming response for foam rollers. It seems that everybody went mad and bought one, but nobody actually uses it or really knows what to do with it. So most people said to me, it's just too sore and I just can't be bothered to get down on the floor. Please, can you help? So today that's what our class is all about, is foam rolling and looking after yourselves. So you might have bought one of these ones, a short foam roller with serrated edges. So they do hurt, I'm going to be honest with you, but they are good if you use them. Okay, you might have a more smooth one like this one. This is a one that I bought many years ago, and as you can see, it's brand new. I could give this away, to be honest with you, because I really don't use it. I'm going to be 100% honest. And then personally, I much prefer to use little massage balls. This pair I got in America, in the States, but I've since found same in the dog ball section in some of the, the pound shops here. So, they work just as well. So I'm going to be teaching you how to do lots and lots of different things. We're going to be focusing mainly on the legs and then the neck for, because again, everyone is coming into me with gripey necks at the moment because they're all sitting on computers or they've all just gone back cycling after the winter break. So without further ado, let's get going. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. So we're going to start off today with our quads. So down the front of the thighs, which seems to be a major area. So during the week I had a cyclist in who does a lot of commuter cycling. So, they're not clipped in and they're pushing quite a lot. Thighs getting quite bulky and really quite tight. So to start with our thighs, we need to just take our foam roller and we're going to do one leg at a time. Now you can either use the smooth edge one if you have it, or the serrated edge one, whichever you prefer. So in order to get into your quad, you're going to lie down towards the floor, obviously. Okay, now I have that just underneath one thigh, and I'm doing the thigh nearest you so that you can see. And I'm just going to start to roll through it. So I'll just move that down a little bit. So starting off, really getting into the belly of the muscle and just being very gentle. Now the trouble is when you're down here on the floor is that your body weight and gravity are pushing you into the foam roller. So I'm going to show you just a little bit of a cheat's guide here. So keep the belly nice and strong. We want to avoid a collapsing back, so you can get a great abdominal workout here too. So rather than rolling through the roller, just move the leg instead. Okay, now that's really nice. So it's called a pin and stretch. So the muscle is being pinned down, and as I curl the heel in, it is being stretched. Now if you haven't got great core strength, if you're worried about your back, I would suggest that you can always have some cushions handy, or in my case little yoga blocks, and you can always support your tummy here. Okay, now that's really nice. And then what you can do is you can roll just an inch or two into a different segment of the muscle. Okay, if you're quite strong and if you're feeling quite good, then obviously you can just roll up and down. And again, that's really into the meaty part of the muscle. You can just spend a little bit of time when you find kind of a knot, for instance, or a bit that needs a bit of a jimmying out. Okay, so just rolling through up and down. Don't forget just the top. Now I'm not on the knee, I'm above the knee, and there's actually quite a lot going on there. So that's a really good place for pinning and stretching, okay? Because again, it can be quite tender around that region. So just play around with it and discover what your body needs. And as I said, if you need a block under your tummy or a pillow, it just means you can stay here perhaps a little bit longer, takes the pressure off the arms as well, and then you can just play around. So that's a really, really nice one. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to move to the side of the leg, so IT band. So lots of runners and cyclists are always complaining about IT band. So the IT band runs here, and if you can see the pattern on my trousers, it's actually here where that line is. So starting here, running down, and then attaching just below the knee. So what we're going to do is, again, we need to just be a little bit inventive here. We're going to get into the side from here and then roll through it. Now this is everybody's nemesis. This is the one that they absolutely hate. So I would suggest that you either grin and bear it or you could do this up against a wall. It's much, much kinder up against the wall because here gravity is pulling me down onto the foam roller and I have no control. I've got my body weight and gravity. Up against the wall, you have much more control. Now that is, I'm not going to lie to you, it is pretty sore. So again, I would much rather do that against the wall myself. And I'm going to spend a little bit of time around the attachment at the knee. Again, if this is too much on your shoulder, get off the floor, just go to the wall, up and down the wall. So again, just nice. And then you can obviously just roll straight over, getting into our hamstrings. Now hamstrings are here at the back of the thigh. Just be mindful again, if you have varicose veins or if you have any sort of, really deep veins, if you've had a long distance flight, for instance, and then you're going foam rolling, it's really not a good idea. Now, if you had one of the longer ones, which I do, you could do 2 birds with 1 stone here. So it just saves a bit of time, obviously. So again, just rolling through it and getting deep into the hamstrings. Now, you could use your tummy here, and again, I'm getting a nice core workout. So rather than just rolling back, I'm pulling back with my tummy. If your hamstrings are very tight, you could cross one leg over, again, just adding a little bit more weight. Just depends on yourself. So just playing around with it. So don't forget, this isn't instead of stretching, you still need to get down on the floor, do a few stretches. This is just, again, as a recovery. You should be using your foam roller, at least once a week. It's instead of your sort of massage and then going for your rub down every month or, 5-6 weeks, whatever you can afford. So just to boost circulation, you're just helping the muscles to get back to nice long lines. It's like a steak, you want that nice grain to be long and tender. You don't want it all matted up. That just makes for tough meat. So again, just rolling through it, and then you could obviously go back onto your side and get a little deeper into that hip area, into IT band. So again, just be careful of your shoulders. Not all of these are going to be suitable for you. Now, to get into the back side, you're going to sit up on top, cross your knee. So whichever knee is crossed, it's going to be that glute that we get into. And then we're just going to have a little roll here. And I'm going to be honest with you, I much prefer to use the massage balls here. I'll show you that now in just 1 second. But this is quite a nice way to warm up. Again, if you find a bit that needs a bit of help, just get into it. Don't forget, obviously, to do the other cheek. And then while you're there, just roll down in front of it, and we can give our lower backs just a nice little bit of a roll here. Okay, so again, that's just nice. Now the thing about the foam roller, this one in particular, it's not very specific. So it's kind of like just like a rolling pin, and it's very nice. It's very functional. It feels quite nice, and like I said, it's not too specific. So it's when you want to get specific that I would really recommend you get out the massage balls. So these little massage balls, I've put them inside of, they came in a little net. If you don't have a net, get an old pair of tights, stick them in a pair of tights, tie a knot on it so that they don't move, so that they come as a unit. So here into the glutes, so again, just going to sit on them. Again, this is nice up against the wall, and just roll through them. Now that's really quite deep and quite specific. It's almost like having an elbow stuck in there. So if that's too much, rather than moving the body, move the leg. So again, you just play around with it, just little circles. If you prefer, if you want to be really cruel to yourself, rather than having the two, just use one of your balls, and again, right into the cheek there. Now very, very deep. So again, you can use your arms to keep the weight off it, or you can just flop down into it, which I don't recommend. And then again, you can just keep the ball still underneath you, and you could move the leg. Now that's really nice. I'm getting deep into that point where the hamstring attaches up into the sitting bone area. Okay, so again, just give it a massage. So a really good way to remember how to use either your foam roller or your massage balls is if you went to somebody's house and you stood there ringing the doorbell, you would irritate everybody in the house, okay, and nobody would like you. But if you went to the house and you washed their windows, everybody would love you. So remember, you always want to keep the ball or the foam roller moving around. When you find a point that's a little bit sticky, you can give it a little bit of a jimmy. You know, if you were washing the window and you needed to get like a bit of bird droppings off the window or something, okay, you need to give it a little bit of an extra scrub, but then you would wash it away, okay? So we never ever poke, we always wash. So that's a really nice way to remember, I think. All right, so again, you can play around with your foam rollers in between the shoulder blades, for instance, into the lower back. And again, these are all really general ones that I'm giving you, you know, again, just so that you know what to do with the foam roller that you invested in, so that you don't leave it to catch dust. And then a really, really nice one that I love to do, if you have a block, it's great. If you don't, you might just want to use the strength of your bottom. Now I'm going to place the two little balls behind my shoulders. I'm just going to show you where. So they're going to land down around here in between the shoulder blades. So lie down, pop the little balls in underneath you, just roll them in and under. Now, okay, we've lots of choices. Choice number one is we can just stay there. That's quite nice. It's like two little thumbs gently massaging in around those shoulder blades, but this might be quite hard on your head. So what I'm going to get you to do instead is to lift your hips, pop your head down, slide a little block in underneath you. Now my body again is pushing down into the balls, so they just stay there. And instead of moving the balls, I'm just going to move my arms, and again that feels lovely. So you can do anything you want. So just really nice moves. Just pretend you're at a psychedelic disco, anything you like, doesn't matter. That's really good. I can move down just another inch or so, find a little hot spot. When I find my hot spot, you can sort of jimmy it out a little bit, and then again find your inner psychedelic disco and just move around. Anything, just play with those arms, just play around. There's no right, there's no wrong, as long as you're happy. And that is a really lovely one. You could always, like I said, is just roll up and down here. Again, the whole body weight is on the ball though, so that may be just not for you. Get it right between the shoulder blades. Oh, you'll know about that one. Okay, you can support the head and then just rolling here. So that's really nice. So there, I'm down around sort of my middle back. I'll just hold them and show you where I was. So I was right there, right around the shoulder blade area. And lastly, a really lovely one for your neck. Now, obviously you're going to need to be careful here. If you have any neck issues going on, you really need to get them investigated. If, however, you're just tired from sitting at a desk all day, this one that I'm going to give you is really nice. So you will need a block, or for instance, something like a catalogue, or you know, like an old phone directory is pretty good. So just pop that there. We're going to keep the balls inside their little sock. And I'm going to take the balls and I'm going to place them here, right up where my hairline meets my neck. So right up the very top up there. We're going to lie down on the block and just allow the balls to sit there. Now, that's gone right up into where my head meets my neck. So I'm just going to sit here for a moment. And I'm just going to relax and breathe into it. If you start to see stars or getting pins and needles, get out of there. Something is not right. Okay, so they're not a good sign. Now this is just really nice. You might just want to stay there. That might be enough for you. Again, just play around with them, get them right into that hot spot. And after a little while, we're going to just very gently now, and I mean gently, very, very slowly, nodding yes. Just go easy. And then after a few of those, you can nod no. And that feels really, really nice. And then bring it back to center and just lie here and just breathe into it.
So just be careful when you're coming off of that one. Again, just always come up out of it nice and slowly.
So there's obviously way more that you can do with either the massage ball or with the foam roller, and that's just a really general sort of beginner's guide to it. So don't forget to subscribe here to my YouTube channel so that you'll get notified of plenty more videos when I make them. They're always coming. I try and do them every week. Please let me know what topics you would like me to video for you, because it really is great, gives me something to work on, and hopefully it helps you as well. So like I said, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, don't forget to like it, don't forget to share it, and most importantly, don't forget to do it. See you soon.